She posted their affair on Instagram stories. Why would you do that? Post your infidelity on social media. I was married to my wife for 15 years before I discovered she was cheating on me with a flight attendant who posted their affair on Instagram stories. My wife and I are both 42. We don't have any children. My wife has been a traveling nurse consultant for the past 3 years. Crazy. Two people in two professions most likely to cheat: a nurse and a flight attendant, according to stats. I work for a medical equipment company. Basically, I manage their regional sales team. She started as a regular hospital nurse, but an opportunity arose to make more money as a consultant. So she jumped on it. Nothing jumped out at me at first. She wasn't obsessed with her phone. She was home when she said she would be, and our sex life did not change. I didn't go through her phone, and we trusted each other. We had no secrets. I had access to her phone, and she had access to mine. When I used her phone to look something up, I didn't find anything suspicious. For the whole 15 years, nothing was out of place, and I mean, not a single thing. When she had to work late, she would always let me know in advance. We took vacations together. If we had to wait until each other's schedule permitted it, then we went. As I said, I did not know of any underlying issues until I was scrolling through Instagram one morning. I rarely use social media, but I was waiting for my coffee and mindlessly checking my feed. That's when I saw my wife tagged in someone's Instagram story. The photo showed her at a beach restaurant with a man I have never met. His arm was wrapped around her waist, and the caption read, "Perfect weekend getaway with this beauty." I was confused because my wife was supposed to be at a nursing conference in Atlanta that weekend. When I tapped through this man's profile, I saw dozens of photos of them together spanning at least 8 months. I took screenshots of everything, my hands literally shaking. I noticed she was wearing the necklace I gave her for our anniversary in several of these photos. That detail hit me harder than anything else at that moment. I called in sick to work that day, something I never did. According to her conference schedule, my wife wouldn't be home until that next evening. That gave me time to investigate and figure out what was happening. I checked our credit card statements and found charges at restaurants on evenings she told me she was working late. See, this is what gets me. If you're going to cheat, why use credit cards that your spouse can track? There were hotel charges in our own city on days she claimed to be at local workshops. When I looked at our phone records, I found hundreds of texts and calls to the same number over and over. The timestamps were often late at night or early morning when I was asleep. I called my closest friend and asked if he had time to meet me for lunch. When I showed him the evidence, he put his head down. "I was hoping you wouldn't find out this way." My blood ran cold. "You knew?" My friend wouldn't look at me. "There were rumors. I didn't know for sure, and I didn't want to hurt you without proof." I felt betrayed twice over. Who else knows? I don't know exactly, but people have seen them together. That evening, I found a notebook in our home office drawer while I was looking for some batteries. It contained dates, times, and what looked like alibis, carefully planned arrangements for her meetings with this man. His name was Derek. According to his Instagram, he worked as a flight attendant. Yep, as I said before, flight attendants have a tendency to cheat, male or female. That explained how they coordinated their schedules so perfectly. I decided not to confront her over the phone or text. I needed to see her face. I sent a text saying we needed to talk when she got home. She replied with the casual, "Everything okay?" I simply answered, "We'll talk when you're home." If it was me, I wouldn't have said anything to her until she got home. That afternoon, I consulted with a divorce attorney and showed her the evidence I'd collected. The lawyer confirmed I had a solid case and gave me paperwork to review. When I returned home, I packed some of my wife's things in a suitcase and left them by the front door. At 5:30 p.m. the next day, I heard her key in the lock. She stopped when she saw me sitting in the living room and a suitcase by the door. "What's going on?" she asked. I didn't answer immediately. I placed my phone on the coffee table between us, screen up, showing one of the Instagram photos. Her face changed as she realized she had been caught. Not shock, not fear, just resignation. She set her purse down slowly. "I was going to tell you." "When?" "After the next weekend getaway." After the next Instagram post. To my surprise, I stayed calm. She began to tell me that it wasn't that serious. I just looked at her and shook my head. I told her it looked pretty serious to me. "You've been having an affair with Derek for at least 8 months. You've been lying about work trips." She flinched at his name. "You don't understand. We connected in a way that—" I interrupted and told her to shut up. "I don't want to hear about your connection. I want to know why you were so careless. Did you want me to find out this way?" She sank into the chair across from me. "No, I never meant for you to see those posts. I asked him not to tag me, but he forgot." "Forgot?" I repeated. "Like you forgot you were married?" I showed her the notebook with her detailed plans and alibis. Her face paled when she saw it. "You went through my things? You lost the right to privacy when your affair went public on social media." I told her I'd consulted a divorce attorney and would be filing papers the next day. She seemed shocked that I wasn't willing to try to save our marriage. I told her to take the suitcase with her essential items. "Where am I supposed to go?" Then she shot back. "Wait, I don't have to go anywhere." I snapped after that. I told her, "If you want to stay alive, you will not stay in this house." "Nope, people, don't resort to violence. It's not worth it. No one is worth losing your freedom over. Go stay with your boyfriend." She finally took the suitcase. "My lawyer will contact yours." "Fine." After she left, the house felt empty, but somehow lighter. I poured myself a drink and let the reality settle around me. My marriage was over. The weeks after she left unfolded in a blur. Friends called, having heard different versions of what happened. I kept my explanation simple. "We're divorcing due to her infidelity. I'd rather not discuss the details." Most respected my privacy. Some admitted they suspected something but wasn't certain. Only a few had seen the Instagram stories before they disappeared. The divorce proceeded quickly. My wife didn't contest anything, perhaps from guilt or simply wanting it over with. We divided our assets with minimal conflict. I kept the house, she took her car and half our savings. The paperwork was finalized in just under 3 months. 15 years of marriage dissolved in 90 days. I threw myself into work, taking on projects that required travel. Being away from our home helped me avoid the memories. About 2 months after the divorce was final, I received a text from Derek. I don't narrate many stories where the AP reaches out to the betrayed spouse. I know this is inappropriate, but I wanted to apologize for my part in what happened. It was wrong. I deleted it without responding. A week later, I ran into my ex-wife at a grocery store. She looked different. Not in a bad way, I guess. Looked like she lost some weight and cut her hair. We acknowledged each other with nods but didn't speak. That night, I decided it was time to make real changes. I listed the house for sale the next day. I updated my resume and applied for positions in other cities. 3 months later, I accepted a job in Charlotte, North Carolina, and prepared to move. As I packed my belongings, I found our wedding album. I considered throwing it away, but mailed it to my ex-wife's new address without a note. My last night in town, I had dinner with my friend who had known about the affair. "I should have told you," he said. "I just didn't know how. It wouldn't have hurt any less," I admitted, "but it might have hurt differently." Later, he mentioned my ex-wife and Derek had broken up shortly after our divorce was final. He mentioned something about karma. I shrugged. Maybe, or maybe just a natural conclusion when a relationship is built on lies. As I drove away from the city that had been my home for 15 years, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. The road ahead belonged only to me. Well, in this story, he didn't have to spend money for a private investigator. Instagram was his private investigator.